Yeah, Aaron. How
How
are
are you
you?
doing?
Good.
And what have you been doing to stay sane?
I've kind of been.
It's recording.
Step 2.
Grab an item without your friend knowing what it is.
Just make it
Step 3.
Well, I got a girlfriend, so that's been helping. Just been reading and like working on my mind a lot. So it's good.
on your Instagram a while back. I feel like you have been mind surfing your whole life at some level.
Yeah, I have. I don't know. Sometimes I'll fall asleep at night just thinking about contests, or I don't know. I just have dreams of like getting a couple results, or I don't know, doing some crazy air or something.
So the Triple Crown, you like took a picture and you posted on your Instagram. You're like, train 5 days a week, surf 4 hours a day minimum, stay positive. How old were you when you wrote that down?
Pretty sure I was 17 when I wrote that, and then it wasn't until 2 years later that I won the Triple Crown. And it's just crazy how you can kind of like manifest things in your life like that. So that kind of blew my mind. I actually fully forgot that I even wrote that. And then I saw it when I won. My mom sent it to me. I was like, whoa, forgot I even wrote that down.
Was that something you did like through your amateur career your whole life, or is that something kind of that you've developed?
Yeah, I kind of always did that. Like my dad has always been real adamant about doing that. Like I think he did that when he was our age, so he kind of just like passed down the tradition, you know, and so we kind of just learned through him.
What are you doing now to continue that? Like, did you write new goals?
Yeah, I kind of have like new ones of that for sure. I have goals of where I want to be on tour, and I've kind of just been like the past year, I just kind of been tripping out on how powerful the mind is. And I really just want to capitalize on that as much as I can. And so I've just been kind of diving deep into books, like self-teaching books and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. It's hard, but it's fun.
What's hard about it, and what are some of the things you've kind of been learning about the mind and how it translates to like being a better athlete?
I feel like the hard part is like the discipline, to like discipline yourself to make sure you work on it every day, which I'm like guilty of definitely going like a week without working on it or something, you know? So I think over the long run, you kind of like learn that you get more disciplined and that starts helping. But right now it's kind of like for me on the whole mind aspect of things, I kind of I'm realizing and like trying my hardest to not let my mind control me, because it seems like from what I've been reading is like the mind controls the person's spirit almost. But like if you can just watch your thoughts and watch the mind do its thing and not actually take those in and like take those as you can like you're like separate from your mind, and then you can kind of just like go through life with this like ease of happiness. But obviously it's a really hard place to get to.
What tools are you using to pivot out of maybe some of those negative things?
I think just noticing it when it comes, and then not just being able to let it go, you know? If anything negative comes in your mind, just see it and let it go, and not like take that in and let it like give you anxiety or stress, you know?
Is there any examples of things that maybe have happened today or in the last couple of days that you'd want to share?
I think the biggest thing for me is probably like handling my mom. She's really stressed and gets a lot of anxiety over everything. She handles all of my money with my sponsors and all that, like doing taxes and all that. So she'll like start telling me everything that's going on, and I just gotta like watch my thoughts when she's talking to me and not let that like stress me out, you know?
Yeah, the mom-son relationship, and then you add some business to that, can be stressful at times, I imagine.
Oh, 100%. It's been a ongoing thing for the past couple of years, so we're just like working out the kinks.
Back to like those goals you wrote down, I pulled off this amazing Haleiwa moment.
Goes down, watch out, Griffin Colapinto. An upside down, front side.
Yeah, that was probably like the biggest moment in my career at that point.
In the danger zone. Watch.
Just watching. That was the year before I qualified, so that kind of gave me like a huge boost of confidence that I knew I could like make something happen, you know? And that was like that was my second event working with Snake. And the event before that, I had gotten third in Brazil at a 6,000, and that was my very first real result in a QS. So I don't know what was going on, but I was just kind of feeling it there. And yeah, in that heat, it was a stacker because I had Jordy Smith, Tanner Gudauskas, and Stuart Kennedy, and it was like 3 guys that all been on tour, you know. And I was just kind of like the underdog, but I still like knew what I needed to do and didn't really like. I started off the heat with an 8. That was like a really good way to start, and then they all got 8s. And then the heat was coming down to the end. I needed a 5, and there was 2 waves left in the heat because there was like a minute left and there's a set coming and there's only 2 waves. And I had third priority and Tanner had first priority. He was in second, so he should have been sitting on me, but instead he went on the first set knowing that I had third priority, that I probably want to get the second set. But I paddled deep up the point, and Stu Kennedy took off on the shoulder of the wave I did the air on, and there was like they were counting down like 5, 4, 3, and then I did the air with like 1 second to go, and I kind of just was like, nothing was going through my mind at that moment. It was just like, okay, it was so simple because it just had this one section. I knew what I needed to do, and it just like all happened. And then yeah, it was a pretty big point for me.
Do you feel like that ever? Like you've thought about like, I'm gonna have a buzzer beater?
Yeah, I guess so. You kind of like are scared of them, but then I realized in a way like, yeah, you're super scared of them, but when you get them, it's way better feeling than having made the heat from like the get-go, you know? So if you're really like thinking about how to get the best feeling out of a contest, that's probably one of the ways.
Why are you scared of them?
Well, you're scared of them because you don't want to lose. Like you're scared to lose, and obviously you're getting put in a position where your chances of losing are super high. But then you can get to that point where you're like, oh, okay, I lost already. And then right when you just give in and like act like you lost already is when everything flips around. So almost like anything in life, if you just like let go, it almost will start going your way, you know? I think that's the big thing, is just being able to like let go, and then everything will start flowing.
Like, can you walk me through like a hypothetical situation? Like you get to the beach, do you stretch? Like what's your mental process before surfing or even during, all the way through? Like give me that like mind surfing mental, like,
okay,
waves are firing, where are we at, what's going down?
Well, depending if we're going to like a really good right or like a good left or something, I'll try and pull up, like, say we're going to a good right, I'll try and pull up like my favorite surfer and watch like some of his videos before I surf the session. And then that way when I'm like in the water, I can have that like video like playing through my mind. So then when I get on a wave, it's kind of like in my head on like what he did, and I try and kind of do like my own version of that. And then sometimes that can like work really well, but you gotta make sure it's like one simple thing that you're kind of envisioning. Like if you get too much stuff going on, you come out like not that good. But yeah, I'm kind of like always having something like play through my head in a session. That's why I don't really like talking when I surf. I'm like focusing on what's going in my head.
Yeah, I feel like talking to you surf can be fairly distracting. So speaking about a right, here's some clips I got of you at Haleiwa this last winter.
Oh, sick. Some secret angles here. Okay, here we go. I don't know, I just was feeling on this session. Like at the start, my wax felt a little slippery and my feet were like sliding around, and then like my wax finally like got good, and then I started landing everything. But that big board slide, like, I don't know, it felt so cool. It's like I never really done something like that before. I don't know. I kind of farmed the turn after, but I think I was just so psyched on the first turn.
What was your mindset when you were going into that lip?
I was just thinking, oh, I'm gonna do a big like grab rail air reverse or something, you know. And I missed the grab, so then I was just like, all right, I'm just going with the flow here. Just like whatever happens, I'll just try and stick it, you know. That happens a lot in surfing, where you have one trick in mind and it doesn't work, and then you kind of just like go with wherever your like body's gonna take you, and then it turns out to be pretty cool sometimes.
What's that mental space like though to adapt on the fly that quickly? Do you ever get scared mid thing, like, oh, my board's gonna flip over, I'm gonna land on my fins?
No, I never really think of that. It's only if I notice like the section like gonna be super like a hard landing or something is when I'm like, oh God, and I'll bail out. But I won't think about like landing on my fins or anything.
All right, so I sent you a clip from Tahiti that I shot last year.
Oh, what? Is this me? Oh wait, no, this is people just running over. Oh, wait, was that during the contest?
Well, this is in May.
Oh, okay.
First big swell of the year.
Oh God, whose board was that?
I don't even know.
Oh no. That's like the scariest thing ever right there.
But what do you think? Like, do you think if you were there, would you try to swing around and catch it?
No way. No way. That's a tow wave.
Tow wave.
You're not getting on that. No way. It's toast. Yeah, that happened in my heat at Tahiti last year. Waves like that came through, and I had priority, and I needed a big score. Or no, Gabriel had priority, and I needed a big score against him. And like waves like that came through, and like I was looking at it, like trying to see if he was gonna go, like sell him, and like he didn't even go. And I was like, wow, I can't go. This wave's like doing this thing. We can't go. It's too big.
So I got another one that I'm sending you that's a much smaller, more manageable wave.
Okay. Well, it's like a wedge.
Yeah.
Oh. I can't tell if it's like I think it's a reef break. I don't know. Is that like one of the reef passes up from Chopu?
I think it's I'm just gonna leave it a secret spot.
Okay.
Somewhere in the South Pacific. It's one of my little secret little zones I like to go to. But I think it's a fun wave because it's like you can chip in behind it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You tell me though, like if you were out there, where would you be sitting?
On this wave that the guy fell on?
Oh yeah, that's Bethany, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'd probably be sitting where she was, but just like, I don't know. Obviously, she only has one arm, so it's hard for her to get in on that wave. But I think she was in the right spot. Just had to be able to paddle a little faster, get to your feet a little quicker. Mm-hmm.
Have you surfed any waves like that before?
Yeah, we have surfed some waves like that. It's so fun. I love that kind of stuff.
What's your process looking at a wave like that?
Well, I think the gnarliest one that I had to wrap my head around was the box in WA. It's like you taking off on like the left, but going into the right. So it's like you kind of, I don't know, you kind of just got to trust the wave. And it's like, supposedly if you fall on the takeoff, that's like the most dangerous spot. So you just kind of go like, okay, if I can just at least get past this spot, then I'll be good. And then hopefully it'll let me out. That's kind of the mindset, I think.
Yeah, I think you did an Instagram post about that recently, right?
Yeah.
You were acting like it was all hard or whatever, but then you got some really sick clips.
Yeah, I put those in my edit. Why not?
What's that process like? Been making these little edits while being on tour?
It's been awesome. I kind of just enjoy trying to work on my surfing a lot through watching myself surf. So I'll bring like Jacob along, and we'll just film. And if we end up with some cool stuff, then we'll make an edit. That's kind of how that works.
We're in quarantine, can't really do much. Where are you, like, where's your mind going? What wave do you want to surf as soon as this thing's done?
Ooh. I don't know. Maybe Chopu? Somewhere like tropical? Be pretty rad, I think.
Where do you think the WSL will open up back to for a first event?
The wave pool.
I guess that you can consider that social distancing, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing.
Thanks for tuning in.
Perfect. Stoked to be a part of it.